What's up, everyone? Eric with HamRadioConcepts. I got a video here on a quad band mobile from China, the Luton.com LT425 UV. You might have seen a radio like this in another variant or another model name or number. This one comes from Luton. I've done a couple videos on some of their units. I've been happy with them. So what I'll do is check this out real quick. We'll do an on-air test. We will show you the what makes this radio unique compared to a regular dual band, and make sure it's getting the power that they state. So in a nutshell, this is a quad band 25 watt / 20 watt mobile, meaning quad band. So it does 2 meters, 220, 350, and UHF 440. The exact specs are 136 to 174, 200 to 270, 450 to 490, and 400 through 480. I'm not exactly sure what the 350 megahertz band is for. Nothing in the US as far as I know. So I'm not going to talk too much about that band, but it will transmit on all 4 bands. The thing that I think makes this most interesting is that it transmits the full 25 watts on the 220 band. So some people have said, well, they're looking for an inexpensive 220 radio. Well, this one will do 3 amateur bands for less than $100. So that right there makes it seem to me that it would be worth it. It's got a nice case design, top firing speaker, a nice color screen, which my camera is making a little bit fuzzy. It does have a color screen. Most all the features that you're familiar with a dual band or another radio that you've used. It does have all your CTCSS tones. It does have your shift repeater offsets. You know, the stuff that you're gonna need. You can program this. I'm not exactly sure how many memories. I'll show you, not to do an unboxing video, but I'll show you what it comes with, because unboxing videos are so 2012. You know, we'll do an on-air test. We'll see if it's getting the power. They claim 25 watts output with 20 watts on UHF. Now, if this does 25 watts on VHF and 220, that would be remarkable for this. You know, that'd be the most of what people are going to use. We'll see what it gets on UHF, and we'll look through the menu real quick and see just the couple differences on this radio. You see the manual there in front of me. This is a hardware pack for the mounting bracket, which you get here, so you can mount this mobile or on the shack. The microphone holder with the screws in it, so you can mount your mic holder somewhere. And the programming cable, USB programming cable, and the software comes with it. Now, this programming cable is not the same as a Bofeng or anything else. It does use a 3.5 millimeter stereo plug type tip ring sleeve programming cable to go in it. So it does come with it, but if you have another programming cable from a Ushan or something and it doesn't have that connector, it may not fit. A lighted backlit DTMF microphone, and I think this microphone resembles a Kenwood microphone I had years ago. Almost looks the same. But you can control the menu and the radio functions, or some of the radio functions, from this microphone, so you can do it remotely. And if you're interested, check out my video on using the Bluetooth wireless QYT microphone with this. It does work, so you can use this hands-free with a Bluetooth, not hands-free, but wireless in the car with a Bluetooth microphone. And that video is on my YouTube channel, or will be by the time you see this. And the microphone, basically the Bluetooth sending unit, which plugs in, and the Bluetooth microphone. So that's another video. Looking at the radio design, I'm going to say, first off, the size of this thing is about a slice of bread, almost exactly the same size as a slice of bread. So it's small, it's compact, it's great for a Go kit. If you're looking to put a dual bander in your Go kit, or even better yet, a tri-bander, this would fit great. Not a lot of power consumption, and a full 25 watts out. So your volume and channel knob, volume and the frequency, as I said, full color screen. FM radio is part of this. You have an FM radio in it. VFO memory mode, call button, exit, and ABCD. So the ABCD is how you would change the different the band you want to use. Okay, 8-pin modular in the front. The case feels solid. The speaker sounds great out of the top. and with the mounting bracket, holes are there to mount it mobile or in your Go Kit or on your desk. On the back, it uses the same style blade power connectors a lot of other radios do. A couple of Kenwoods and Yaesus have used that. SO239 and a fan. I'm glad they put a fan on this because there's been a couple of radios I've done videos on and they get really, really hot. This one does get warm, but the fan keeps it a lot more stable at extended periods of time. Headphone jack or external speaker and data jack for a programming cable. Can be programmed with the software comes with it. And the data jack, as far as I know, is only used for programming at this time. No APRS data or anything like that. Your volume knob, just so you know, is also your power button. By holding that for 2 seconds, we'll turn it on. All right. So the power output. Okay, on my MFJ 264 dummy load with my MFJ 894 power meter, we'll start at the top at the 146.52. About 25 watts, over the 20. So there's your 25. If I go to 223.5, now when I switch to 223, I can hear a relay in the back popping. So it must have several different boards or transmitter sections in there. Maybe it's using different finals. I don't know, but when I go from 144 to 220, I can hear the relay switching in there. 223.5. 25 watts, over a little better on 220 than it is on VHF. But a lot of times, radios that include the 1.25 meter band, they usually don't have full output power on 220 for some whatever reason. I've had a couple handhelds that did that. They did 5 watts on VHF, 5 watts on UHF, a watt and a quarter on 1.25. You know, but this is a full 25 watts on 220. So even getting it to use it as a 220 radio for under $100 would be worth it. Let's check out 350.625. Again, not sure what you would use this band for, but just to see the power output on this is about 12 watts. So not a big deal because I don't think I will be using the 350. Maybe in other countries you will. Maybe you're using it for a business or something, business band and a properly licensed portion. I'm not sure. And then if I go to 442.500, I'm getting 17 watts. So it says 20 watts in the manual on UHF, 25 on VHF. I'm getting about 17. So VHF and 220 would be more likely what I'm using this for anyways, but usually UHF is a tad bit lower than VHF. Worth noting, I bet a lot of people are going to ask, well, with the 4 bands, can you do multiple receive or standby? Well, yeah, in the manual here, it shows you, they call it TMR, but basically you have options. You know, you can do, right here, main frequency and A frequency standby, or like main frequency A and B and C frequency standby. So you can set this up. There's way different modes here for the TMR, they call it, for, you know, having the first line as your main one, the second and third line as your standby. Well, actually last night I tilted it 45 degrees to try that for, I wanted to see what the difference was, you know, with it 45 degrees if I'd get some horizontal polarization, and apparently I do. So I'm going to run like that, and if I want to change it before the contest day, I might flip it all the way horizontal. KJ4YZI.
Which way is it facing now?
It's facing right at John, I guess, 332 degrees.
You need to face it. If you want to talk to Eric, you're going to have to face it to the northwest.
Oh, that is where I'm facing, is northwest. I mean, usually I might have lost him now because I'm I lost some of my gain on, you know, vertical. So if he's using the same antenna he did before, whatever I did, I probably ended up losing his signal because I'm somewhat horizontal now, or 3 dB less than I had on vertical, I guess is what Dave was saying. But how does this radio sound on this one I'm using now?
Sounds fine, like normal. They all sound good.
I'm just testing this radio out. This is that one that has the 4 bands on it, or 3 usable. But cool that I have, well, nobody's really on 220 around here, but I do have VHF and 220 and UHF on this little rig. Tiny, about the size of a slice of bread. I think, you know what, Steve, it's the same like the one you have. Don't you have that GT890? It's similar to that in size, with a color screen and 4 bands. And so it, 25 watts out into the amp, I'm still getting about 100 watts. KJ4YZA.
I don't have that one. I got another one that you demonstrated, Lexon or something like that. It's the one that puts out 10 watts maximum. They also make a 20-watt version of it. It's the one that puts out 10 watts, but I have an amplifier on it. It's a little bit bigger. Can you hear Mike?
Yeah, I can hear Mike. Good evening or afternoon, Mike. KJ4YZI. Another cool little feature is in the menu you can change the different colors of the transmitted frequency. Like for instance, I can go green, yellow, indigo, purple. Let's stay with purple. And when I transmit, watch the top line there, turns purple. If I go to receive, it'll light up on that band at that color. If someone starts talking, it'll light up green. So a couple different colors you can change here. Menu color in the background. A lot of different colors in here to set up the screen. So it's not just blue and black. All right. Well, the Luton LT425 UV, to make it a quick and effective review, I think it's a great radio for someone that wants something that's for their QRP kit or their Go kit. Doesn't require much power. It gives out the full 25 watts. The speaker is very loud and can be used with the Bluetooth microphone. So that's a plus. The Luton version has the same features but with a different firmware. So almost everything is identical, minus their firmware that's loaded into the radio. A great buy for under $100. The link is in the description of where you can purchase it. Any questions or comments, leave them below. Subscribe. And check us out on Facebook. Thumbs up. The Luton LT425 UV. 7.3 from KJ4YZI.